Tips to do with dating, with parenting, and with marriage. Today it's dating tips. Should I marry someone of a different religion? So this one is for you if you're dating or if you're single. I'm looking at questions like, if you're a Christian, can you marry a Muslim? Can you marry someone who is a Christian but goes to a different church to yours? Well, these days we are in a global village and people travel and move to different countries and cities more than ever, and as a result we're exposed to different cultures and different beliefs much more than before. Centuries ago, people in Zimbabwe followed traditional beliefs, and then Christianity was introduced by missionaries in the late 1800s. And then we had more people who follow Islam coming into the country, plus those of various other religions. And of course we have some who don't follow any religion, and those who are atheists who believe that there is no God. And that's a far more common perspective in the Western world than in Africa. And many Zimbabweans have left the country to live in the Western world. Many get to travel outside the country for business, so we are much more exposed to different religions than people were in years gone by. So here in Zimbabwe, the traditional beliefs and Christianity remain the most common beliefs, and you could further categorize people as strong Christians, also those who are churchgoers but not so committed to the faith, and those who believe in God but are not churchgoers. And there are those who have no problem following Christianity and traditional beliefs, in contrast to those who would not want to mix the two. And of course we have numerous denominations within the Christian church, some of which don't allow people to marry those from different churches. So it's actually a complicated question, should I marry someone of a different religion? And I could also put it as, should I marry someone of different beliefs to me? So let's start with Christianity. The Bible is totally clear that a Christian should not marry a non-Christian. 1 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 14 says, do not be yoked together with unbelievers. And the reason given is that you can't have fellowship together. That's 1 Corinthians 6:14. So for a Bible-believing Christian, it's clear that you should marry a Christian. If you are a Christian and your partner's not, it means that there are many things that you can't share together. Things like praying together, going to church together, the joy that you might find in reading the Bible or listening to gospel music and in doing other things of God. Of course, there will be things that you can do together that you will share common ground on, but the warning is clear that if you are a Christian and you marry someone who isn't, you'll have a burden to carry in that they don't share your faith. And a strong marriage does need to have common interests. Not that you need to do everything together, but if you're united in your fundamental beliefs and principles, it'll help your marriage to be strong. And if you can't be free with your faith at home, it can be very difficult for you. And then, even among Christians, there are many denominations. So, should an Anglican marry someone from the Salvation Army, for example? Well, I personally say there's nothing wrong with that, although the one who leaves their church to join the partner's church may well have to adapt quite a bit. And then, what about a marriage between a Muslim and a Christian? From what I've researched on this, in Islam, interfaith marriages are only allowed between a Muslim male and a non-Muslim female, and only then if she is a Christian or a Jew. But a Muslim woman can only marry a Muslim man. She should not marry someone of a different religion. And some people have converted to Islam for purposes of marriage. Likewise, some have converted to become Jewish. But these days it is increasingly common for a Jewish person to marry a non-Jew, and also for Muslims living in the Western world to marry non-Muslims. But in all of these cases, whichever beliefs you follow, the main point is that if your faith is strong, and if it's really important to you, then it is advisable to marry someone who shares the same faith as you, so that you can enjoy spiritual fellowship together and move together in life in the same direction. And then if you're a Christian and you're already married to someone who doesn't share your beliefs, it's not a reason to divorce. You should keep on working in your marriage and keep on praying for your partner. And maybe a couple share the same beliefs when they get married, but one of them then gives up on their faith or changes their religion later on. Again, that's not grounds for divorce, but it will be a challenge, but you need to keep on working. So finally, if you are dating or single, that saying love is blind can often be very true. And you can feel that even if you have different religious beliefs, that you can make it together, that your love will conquer all. But looking at it realistically, these differences can make a relationship very difficult. Sometimes it has worked out, but often it has not. So when you're dating, it's wise to get to know each other really well and to see if you have common grounds on matters of